In our continuing coverage of the Nashville school shooting, officers describe it as a mass casualty event. Federal law defines a mass casualty as when 3 or more people are killed in a single incident. And during these times, the nearest hospital can be overwhelmed.
Even just training for these kinds of calls can take a toll on first responders. Liam Collins talked to people in agencies in our area about how they respond and how they cope afterwards.
Driving to any call, first responders have no idea what they're getting into. Every single call is different. But once they hear those terms, mass casualty event over the radio, that changes everything for them, and the entire department goes into overdrive.
On me. We don't know where he is.
When Nashville police officers responded to the Covenant school shooting, they had already been warned.
Dispatch all units, be advised, we are under a mass casualty alert.
It's an alert pointing to the possibility of multiple different victims. It doesn't necessarily mean, though, that there are multiple deaths confirmed.
If we get somebody, God forbid, that comes into one of our schools, we're going to treat that as a mass casualty because there's a massive amount of targets.
Jamie Heath is the assistant chief of police in Collegedale. He told us it's a system of response signaling the need for a large number of officers and EMTs.
We make our training fluid, just as it would be on the street. We want to change up our training habits just as they change up their tactics.
The training involves actual scenarios evolving to different situations, but they also include discussions about communications and responsibilities. They will also include paramedics to prepare for as much as possible.
It doesn't equip you to deal with the emotional part that you're fixing to walk into.
Bradley County's EMS director, Mike Guerin, talked about what hearing those words, mass casualty event, means for his staff.
We've got many patients, and we need to start allocating resources.
Guerin told us that alert means putting as many free teams as possible on the call. It also means a high likelihood that the call will be traumatic.
You have to be able to keep your emotions in check and still be able to perform your job.
It takes a huge toll because we're people just like anybody else.
They said it's one of the first reasons why first responders have left the job at record numbers.
Keep pushing. Go.
Heath said calls like the one in Nashville take a toll on officers that complicates the job greatly.
It's just a weird place to be. You handled the threat, you did your job the way you were trained and did well, but at the same time, you had to make that conscious decision to pull the trigger.
Now, Guerin says he's also trying to work on protecting mental health for his paramedics as well. He says that is critical to not only protect them, but also to keep them on the job. Reporting in Cleveland's Liam Collins, Local 3 News.